Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 5 of the Pit Stop series. It's Div 2, Saturday night, and it's pissing it down with rain. It's actually the first time in a few days that we've had a dry day here in the southeast of the UK, but apparently in the Never Neverlands, it is absolutely pissing it down, raining cats and clogs. You like that? Yeah. Um, Let me know in the chat that you can hear me. Actually, I've just pulled out a banger of a joke, and no one's gonna hear it, are they? Someone let me know. Can someone let me know? Yeah. Right, someone's out on track. It's a Haas. Let's have a look. Who that is? That Geo Damley on his outlap, slipping and sliding. For some reason, I thought it was Belgium tonight, but that's in the ABBA League in DRL on a Monday and Tuesday night. This is actually one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. It always produces decent racing, very few overtaking opportunities that are safe, but generally decent racing around here. So, it is very wet. Or is Gio just struggling? He's struggling on the wet tyres. Let's have a look at Ted Head, who's out on inters. He does look a bit quicker. There's a little bit of a dry line. It's slippy, but there is... You can see that tiny bit of a dry line, which Ted Head is nowhere near. Oh, there we go. He's found it again. Wondering, is the rain going to get worse or is it getting better? Thinking if the rain's getting worse, you'd go out on the inters, but if it's getting better, you'd maybe get a lap in on the wets or just sit inside for a bit. That must be the fact that people are coming out late, like we're already 3 minutes into quali. Here comes Ted Head, who's going to give us an idea of how quick or how slow. As there's a yellow flag, I think that's the Red Bull there in, is that turn 3? The entry of turn 3? We're going to go turn 3. Ted looking quite comfortable on those inters. So I don't think it is the wet tyres. Oh, bit slippy there. So we would have lost a fair bit of time and momentum. Drifting round some of these corners. As the McLaren gets out of the way nicely. So what is our time gonna be? It's gonna be in the low 10s, as in under 120. No, it's gonna be, oh, Anala sets our first time of 126.412. Ted Head was only a 126.510. So as we see, Arsenal boys is on an outlap. Beth just on the start of his lap. David setting a time of 1:27.122 on the wet tyres. So it is the intermediate tyres that we're going to be looking out for. Let's have a look at Szczesny, who I believe is second in the championship. No, he's nowhere near second. He's 11th in the championship. But picked up a lot of points last week, which was his first race. So here comes Szczesny, who is going to set a 1:27 flat. So that's not great. Arsenal boys coming round. It's got a lot of battery to use up there. He goes with 1:27.026 as David, last week's winner on the wets, goes a 1:25.543. So maybe it is the wets. It'll be interesting to see what Mr. Shasty on another lap. I think he's about to start a lap. He's getting a nice toe. He's going to start a lap. Currently sitting P2. A full 6/10 behind David, who's our provisional pole sitter. Can the Alpine driver get any better as he comes up to the first sector split? He's 2/10 up. So that's currently sitting him at around a 1:26.8 something. Slides round the corner there. It is getting wetter, it looks like. As Tedhead puts in a fastest lap of 1:25.043 on the Inters. Right, I don't know which tyres. Now, as Shiesty improves yet again in Sector 2. So this looks like it will be put him onto a provisional front row at least. I didn't see what the split was. It's a 1:25.379. So it is the Inters, we think, now. So Thames 2 seconds up on his time. Oh no. For some reason it looked like it said he was 2 seconds up then. I'm going to put him in the 1:24s. Can he improve? He needs to find at least half a second from somewhere. And even then, that won't really be challenging David and the Ferrari. As 10 comes up to the Sector 2 split. Just a 10th up, it's not going to be enough there. How is Anala doing? He's on his... Is he on an outlap? I think he's on an outlap. Oh no, he's burning. He's burning. He's 8 temps up. Okay. So Nala's currently sitting around the 1:25 zone. It's Arsenal boys. Puts his Mercedes next to his teammate on the front row with 1:25.168. So it does look like it's the intermediates that are in play now. As Anala comes up to the Sector 2 split. He's a second, 1.6 seconds up. Which is, what's that, 1:25? That's in the 1:24s. Anala is. Is it Ernala? Ianala? But he's on a monster of a lap here. He's going to be the first one, I think, to be in the 124s in this qualifying session. It is. It's massive. 124.372 from the V-carb driver. So the track is getting quicker. Ted Head goes with a 123.736. So he's the first one in the 23s. Almost 2 seconds between the top 6. Right, who else is on a lap? Arsenal Boys is not on a lap. Abelli is 4 tenths down. 10 is a second and a half down, but I think on a lap. On a lap as he catches a bit of grass there. Can he get smooth through turn 3? I think it's turn 3. Or is the kink turn 3? I don't know. As he heads down this straight-ish, he's a 10th up. It's not going to be enough as he finds more grass, and that's probably the end of that for Tem. So is Arsenal Boys on a lap? No. Is he prepping for a lap? No. There, Arsenal Boys, I think, going off track. Massive question mark. Yeah, it was a massive lap by Nala, and then another massive one by Ted. I mean, in the wet. Obviously, pretty slow laps in comparison. That turn 3. It is turn 3. Right, who? Ted Head is 4 tenths up as he puts in a 123.006. It's the 7th fast lap according to the game. Inala 1-3 down. Let's have a look at Zhezny, the Ferrari driver. He's not on a lap. David 3 tenths up as Tem puts his car onto the second row of a 124.063. I mean, this could be one of those where we've got a dry race, just people on completely different setups. David is just under a second up, so he's looking at a 123.9, 123.8 maybe at the moment. Probably not going to be hitting the second row. He may prove us wrong. Not got much battery to play with down the straight. Oh, he hits the second row of 1:23.794. How long have we got left of the session? Probably only a minute or two left. So we'll be coming up to our final laps for most people. Who's that? It's Gio Damley coming round the final corner. Now starting is that. Followed by a Belly, who is on his lap. So, yeah, this is probably the final opportunity. So Belly is harvesting, so he is going to hold out. He's just warming those tyres up for a final run. Ted Head has gone into the pits. So he's going to come out and have one last go. He doesn't think his 1:23 almost flat is enough. Here, Nala is on his outlap, just cutting some grass there. Mr. Shasty is on a lap. I'm wondering if who we think is going to be whoever's last across the line here. Thames taking it easy. J3 Mystic is taking it easy. Everyone slowing right down. So I think J3 Mystic is going to hopefully aim to be the last to cross the line as Mr. Shasty goes with a 1:22.671. Ted Head's time definitely not enough. Are we going to have people in the 1:21s for pole? As Macbeth with a 1:23.614. But I doubt he'll find himself in the second row. So we're going to have a lot of drivers here. Arsenal boys letting everyone pass. Who's that? Was that Tem as well? Tem saying he wants to go last. He should give him. Is he giving himself enough time? Yeah, plenty of time. So we've got lots of drivers on their final laps. Let's have a look. So Gio Damley is going to be our first across the line. I think he may. So Gio Damley, as we saw a purple sector 1 there. There's a purple sector 2 for Ianala. Didn't see what his split time was, but he's going to get a nice toe from the Sauber in front of Woody. Ianala with a 1:22.495. Right, Ted Head is about a second up, I think. Did that say a second up? That would put him close to the 1:21s. So we're going to see Ted Head go on pole with a 1:21.743. Right, Arsenal boys with a 1:24.043, and that's Tem as well. J3 Mystic come off. So that's the end of his qualifying. There we go, Ted Head getting into the 1:21s. And earlier on in the session, I thought we wouldn't get anyone into the 1:23s. There we go. Hey, Johnny Nice who says, "Hey, love your streams. That's why I followed. I'd like to be friends and a supportive fan. Add me on Discord. Anna Muller 0824." Okay. So there we go. J3 Mystic, Arsenal Boys, Woody, Zhezhny, Macbeth, Gio Damley, David, Tem, all in the rear positions. Abelli and Mr. Shiesty on the second row, and Ian Nala is on the front row alongside our pole sitter, Ted Head 08 with 121.743. Strong quality for the Red Bulls. Let's see if those two can work together. David, last week's winner, going to be disappointed sitting in the mid pack. Chetty, it's a bot. Oh. I'm just conversing with people in the chat. Like, you concentrate on the driving. I'll concentrate on conversing with people. And if the only person that wants to converse with me is a bot, then let it be a bot. Right. So, who wins this? This could be anyone's. It depends on the weather. It looks kind of cloudy. Are we going to get rain in the race? Maybe. Don't let me, anyone driving, don't let me know that if the weather's going to change. It's be good to have it as a surprise. Right. Let's open my can for the evening. And tonight I've got some Haribo Star Mix to keep me company. What did we have last week? Oh, I had some crisps. Oh, yeah, I had like the pigs in blankets crisps from Tesco. Oh my god, they're insane. Cola bottles are the best ones. Don't know, I quite like the eggs and the love hearts. Right. Star Mix is the goated packet of Haribo. I'm sorry. Closely followed by Tangfastics. Yeah, that's what I said, Arsenal boys. Closely followed by Tangfastics. The problem with Tangfastics, I think the only thing is they're not gaming friendly. Because you got all that sugar like all on your fingers and everything. Yeah, they're not very gaming friendly. Whilst Star Mixes are they're good. So I started with an egg. Let's have a little love heart. Are they love heart? I don't think they're love hearts actually. They look like, oh no, these ones just look like they're a bit dented. To be fair, I've been sat in my little snack drawer for ages. So there you go, guys. What is your favourite Haribo? As we wait for the race to start. Welshman says, can't beat it. Oh, wait. We'll come back to the Welshman. 5 red lights. And away we go. Ted Head takes us away, and this camera angles. And Ted has left the session. No. No. Oh, and Woody 184 has come off at the back there. But Ted Head, what a disaster. Disconnecting right at the start of the race. I don't even think I have him. I should really get these people invited. No. Oh, that's gutting. Lesson for the drivers out there. Make sure you have me added. No, definitely don't have him added. Oh, he's rejoined. Absolute disaster. Let's I don't think I can. No, I can't add people like in race. So, Mr. Shiesty starts lap 1. DRS is enabled. Lap 1, lap 2. DRS is enabled. Right, let's have a quick look at the position changes. Mr. Shiesty up 2 places. Ian Arler still in 2nd. David 3rd. Gia Damley up 3. A belly down 1. Dresney up 3. Tem down 2. Macbeth in the same place. Arsenal boys Jay Mystic both up 2. Ted Head losing 10 positions, down to 11th from pole. And Woody down 2. Good thing for Ted Head is he is with the pack still, more or less, but he's going to have to work his way through and do it fairly quickly, because the belly is already 2 seconds off the front 4, who have sped on up the road. Inala takes the lead. A bit of contact at turn 1. Oh, and a bit more contact, and it's caused the 2 of them both to spin off. Not sure who's at fault there. I'm going to say it looked a bit from the Alpine, but the Alpine had plenty of space on the outside of turn 2 there, and it's turned in a bit on the V-carb. Yeah, and I think that'll be Mr. Shiesty at fault. So yeah, the Welshman said can't beat the Tang plastic. So David, last week's sprint and race winner, storms into the front on the medium tyres, a 2.5 seconds ahead of Ianala. Gio Damley picked up a 3-second time penalty. See a belly come in. Did he start on the? Did he start on? He started on the. Oh, he had front wing change. So a belly is going to try and make his medium tyres go as far as possible. and then back onto the hards later on. So here Nala closing the gap, but not enough. Just over a second. I don't think he's going to get the rear wing open. Joe Damley as well with a little gap, but here Nala showing some pace down the straight. As there's been another crash, Szczesny, who's lost his front right end plate. Turn 1, I don't know who was part of that incident. We'll see if anyone else has any damage. We'll find the culprit. Don't think it's Arsenal boys. Don't think it is Ted Head. And don't think it's Tem. Was it Macbeth? No. None of these cars got any damage on them. Must have just all been Chesney's fault. We're now right on the back of David now. These two stormed away. Nala getting the move done well before turn 1. He will likely lead for the rest of the lap. Joe Damley keeping check on Mr. Shiesty. A bit of a train there all the way back, Arsenal boys. Belly goes fastest. On, who's that? That's J3 Mystic? No. Who was that came off? God knows. Six laps in. The field really starting to spread out now. The front two really putting the burners on, opening up a gap. Imagine now the only way this front two are getting threatened is there's a safety car. Well in control of the race. Ted Head picks up a 3-second time penalty. Keep an eye on the close battles. Imagine Macbeth is going to have a look at getting past Gio here. Oh, as Tem goes flying into the back of him, lucky not to get any damage. Mr. Shiesty, he's managed to pull away from the 4 drivers behind him. Can he close that gap to the front 2? Will we see Nala versus Shiesty part 2? later in this race. Gio Damley and Tem manages to get past, and Gio loses 2 positions in that lap, and unless he's careful, he could lose a 3rd one as he comes into the pit. Is there a damaged wing there? As he sees the Ferrari of David in. Destiny gets a 10-second penalty for the speeding in the pit lane. So that brings Abelli right back into the tail end of the race. And Ian Arla, without David there to distract him, has pulled a bit of a gap on Mr. Shiesty. almost 3.5 seconds. Macbeth 2.5 seconds-ish behind. Tem just behind him. Ted Head, then J3 Mystic 3 seconds back up the road. Almost 4 seconds back up the road. So here we go. Tem getting a nice run out the final corner. He's going to be right on the rear of Macbeth. He's going to get the move done very early. And he moves into 3rd place. Good move by Tem. Nice and clean. I think it's important on this track to get that move done early. I feel like late dives into turn 1 never end well for either driver. Just the nature of the corner, like banked corner, is similar to Japan. Just that banked corner just makes it tricky to sort of dive in late on the inside. Tem darting up the road. Is he fancying himself to close the gap on Mr. Shiesty? Might be. Showing that he's got a fair bit of pace around here. Szczesny goes fastest for 1:12.423. I'm wondering whether he put softs on because he got the 10-second. Just do like a really quick stint and then serve that, get that 10-second served, and I think you'd maybe put on the mediums or the hards and then just keep going until the safety car. So Arsenal boys, is he going to be close enough here to make a move? Tem is within striking distance of Shiesty. Arsenal boys is going to make that late dive. Definitely asked the question of J3 Mystic there, and J3 Mystic could not provide the answer. There we go, saying late dives into turn 1 never work out, but that time it did. Tem, Mr. Shiesty, both caught up to in Arla. Let's just have a look at all on the hard tyres. Tim's gonna... Is he gonna have a look here? He is. And he gets it done. Mr. Shiesty gonna try to switch check? No. Tem gets it done. Feeling a bit lonely at the front there because that gap has really closed. We know David is on a 2-stop. So probably 2 lots of mediums and then go on to a hard for the rest of the race, I imagine. If people are one-stopping, probably going to be wanting to go, what, 20 laps on the hards? I don't know what lap David pit off his first set of mediums. Let's have a look. Lap 8, so he's obviously going 8:20, I imagine. Right on the rear, Mr. Shiesty just keeping watch behind, hoping to maybe pick up on any incident that happens. There we go. Is Tim gonna have a look here? Gets a great run out of the final corner, and all 3 have dived into the pit. Tim's struggling to keep it together. All 3 diving into the pit is interesting. Macbeth takes the lead of the race. All 3 onto inters. Has this started raining? It has. Has it started raining? A bit of damp. It doesn't look like it's into weather. Let's have a look at Inala. He's got past Tedhead. Oh, there is. I'm not sure if it's into weather yet. That felt a bit early. Is Macbeth staying out? Macbeth is in. Jason Mystic stays out. I think staying out here is the right thing to do. Let's just see how quickly that gap comes down. Gap between Ilala and David is increasing. I think that front 3 think one of them has gone in, and then the other two have just got worried by that. Those tyres, once we actually see some proper rain, you're going to be screaming. I imagine we'll see this front three come in maybe the next lap. That gap is coming down now. So they're going to come in. Nala's going to be back into first. But how much has he killed off those tyres? As a belly comes in, he says it's time for the inters to come on. Woody stays out. He's taking a gamble. Yeah, Nala's knocked about 2 seconds off of David in a lap and a half. As Arsenal boys comes in, David stays out. I'm wondering. Oh, my controller's battery's gone. Let's get it plugged in. I'm wondering whether this rain is due to stop. David and J3 Mystic feel like they can hold their own and essentially gain a pit stop. If that is the plan, then I salute them. If it pays off. If it doesn't pay off, then they're a couple of idiots. So, will we see either of them come in now? J3 Mystic is in. David stays out. J3 Mystic going on to inters. I feel like that needs to be checked now. Yeah. J3 Mystic onto the inters. David, currently on the mediums, stays out. DRS is now disabled. That rain is coming down. Definitely see it now. And I swear it was so light before. Couldn't see any of it. Oh, I got so confused. People diving into the pits of inters. There's Nala right on the rear of David. It's the nice switchback. Nala takes the lead once again of this round 5 Division 2 race of the pit stop series. And there we have it, David now losing so much time. Just in a couple of corners he loses 2 seconds as Mr. Shiesty gets the overtake done on the final corner. David's going to stay out. See, I mean, this is either brilliance or just complete Ferrari incompetence. David loses 4 positions, or 3 positions in the space of, what, 7 corners? And there's another position gone. And most likely another one. Round here as, oh, that wasn't the cleanest by Ted Head. Can someone summarise the last 20 laps in terms of Red Bull? Tem doing well, Abelli not doing well. I think, yeah, when it was dry, Tem showed some real pace, and it was race-winning pace. But this wet weather has kind of halted him a little bit. Abelli, yeah, struggled all through the race. As David pits onto the hards. So now this is where he's hoping he gains that pit stop. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, what am I doing? Let's go. David needs that to drop down to around that 32.9 to drop down to like 25. To have any chance of winning this race. I'm not sure that's the one. Have we got anyone making a move? Ted Head here. Going in, going out, going back in again. And is he going to make it stick? Just about. So he gets that move done on Macbeth. Tem seems to have got it together. Maybe the tyres just needed warming up for him. And he's now on the rear of Mr. Shiesty. Still losing time. He needs that wet weather to stop. Tem, Ted Head, Macbeth, all tracking Mr. Shiesty. Oh, well, that wet weather, I hope it does dry up again, because that's killed the race a little bit. Why is a singular Ferrari on 6? At this point, I don't know. Not got a clue why David is on the slicks. I can think of is trying to play some sort of strategic masterclass. DRS enabled. Right. The rain, so it's dried up enough. Tem comes in for the hards. Mr. Shiesty in for the mediums. J3 Mystic in for hards. A belly. Who else is in? A belly in for hards. Right. Where is David in all of this? Let's have a look at. So he's 38 seconds on. He needs to get on his bike in this lap. I mean, he's 10 seconds behind Tem. Tem and Mr. Shiesty could have pulled a blinder here. Let's have a look as Inala comes into the pits. Macbeth into the pits. Arsenal Boys into the pits. Tedhead is into the pits. He might get held up. So Mr. Shiesty, Inala is out. He's on the road. Mr. Shiesty goes into second. Macbeth is going to keep third, but I imagine he's going to struggle for the first half a lap or so while those tyres warm up. And they've got to go a long way on those mediums. Tem, I think, is in a good place here. I think Tem is in a good place. I mean, it all depends how these tyres drop off. I mean, the damp is going to help them for a few laps. Tem showed some good race pace in that opening stint to work his way through the pack and get himself in a strong position. Self and Mr. Shiesty both closed down in Arla. Who had broken away in that opening stint. They're going to have to do very similar again. Arsenal Boys is putting Macbeth under pressure. Is he gonna have a little go into turn, I think it's turn 12? No. But I'm sure he is gonna have a go on the pit straight. He's well within striking distance. He's almost going to get it done before the pit straight. And Tem is going to follow him through. Is it going to be 2 places lost? As Tem and Macbeth go side by side. Tem trying the switchback. He's going to get the run. No, he's not. Some great racing by these two drivers. Nice and clean. as Arsenal Boys makes his way up the track to try and catch Mr. Shiesty. Inala is just checked out now. He's now 5 seconds ahead. So this is the battle, I think, here is Macbeth and 10. Is Macbeth gonna be able to hold on? He's not. I think Macbeth has lose the DRS? No. 10 puts it on the inside. Was there a little push to pass there? I'm not sure. I mean, is it 4 laps in? I think it's going to be a couple more laps till we see the hards quicker than the mediums, maybe. We'll see. I think the medium's still just that little bit quicker. As someone's come off. Is that Mr. Shiesty has just made a mistake and ended up on the grass? Because that gap has really dropped. Ian Arler now 8.5 seconds ahead. Shiesty losing about 3 seconds there. He's now got Arsenal Boys right behind him. Tem losing DRS, but probably far enough ahead of Macbeth to avoid any trouble on this lap. So Arsenal Boys will be rubbing his hands together, thinking that he could get a P2 out of this. It's just whether those medium tyres can hold on. 10, grab him. Yeah. We're going to see a move from David any minute. Let's just go and have a look at this current closest battle on the field, or on the track. He can get the DRS open. Can he stay close enough to J3 Mystic? Can he get past J3 Mystic and try and get up the track? Obviously on the older hard tyres, but a lot of that older running was in the wet, so I think he's too far behind on this lap. Yeah. The 10 back within a second of Arsenal Boys. I think 10 could get a P2 here. He's got to get this move done on Arsenal Boys. As Mr. Shiesty makes another big mistake. And it's put the 3 drivers all within a second of each other. Macbeth trying to come along for the ride as well. So Mr. Shiesty is going to be under a lot of pressure from Arsenal Boys, and I don't think he's going to have anything to reply with. Arsenal Boys going to get that move done. Oh. I'm not sure what happened there. He seemed to just brake too early. So Mr. Shiesty is going to keep the position. Interestingly, these 3 are going quicker than Ian Arler right now. That gap was about 10.5 seconds a minute ago, and it's down to 9. I don't think it's going to be quick enough to close that gap before the end of this race as we head into the last 5 laps. So, can Arsenal boys get the move done? Tem is going to try and follow him through. And Arsenal boys, that's it, and Mr. Shiesty giving Tem a big nudge and doing the right thing and letting him through. He's done exactly the right thing there. And probably avoid the penalty. I think he just snapped right a little bit and went straight into Tem, who was making the overtake on the exit of turn 1. So, is Tem now going to have a go at Arsenal boys? As Szczesny picks up a 10-second time penalty. The tyres in the pit lane, it looks like, yeah. That's yellow flag conditions. It's green flag at the end of the straight. Under yellow flag conditions now, as this is why even retiring on track doesn't work out. I think Tem got the move done there and may have been told by the game not to cede the position again, because the track, it was under yellow flag on that exit of turn 1. As Arsenal boys and Tem both making contact. So this is probably going to be the battle to finish this race off. I don't think, unless Inala does something crazy, as Woody retires in the pit lane. That looks like an end plate for 10. No, for Arsenal boys. Now, didn't see all of that. It looked like the defensive move from Tem, not the cleanest. Or was it the offensive move by Arsenal boys not being clean and backfiring on him? And I think that could be that. Yeah, Arsenal boys dropping right back now. Probably still got enough pace to keep him from the danger of Mr. Shiesty and Macbeth behind. Yeah, not enough. It just can't. Turn with any effectiveness to be able to keep within DRS of Tem. As Macbeth is going to come down the outside of Mr. Shiesty, gets a good run out of the corner, gets the move done. Driver of the day, who are we thinking? Let's have a look at position changes. Arsenal boys up 8, Tem up 3. J3 Mystic up 6. Ianala up 1. Probably, if Arsenal Boys keeps this P3, then I think that might be my driver of the day. I mean, Ianala with Ted Head losing the connection at the start, Ianala's just done what he's had to do. There was the dubious incident with the Alpine, but I think that was the Alpine's fault earlier on in the race. So, yeah, I think it has to go to Arsenal Boys, making up 8 places to get onto the podium is a good race, and without safety cars or anything like that as well. And as we see Ianala come through the last few corners. There we have it, the V-Carb driver taking P1 in the Dutch Grand Prix in Division 2 of the Pit Stop Series, followed by the Red Bull of Tem, the Mercedes of Arsenal Boys, and the McLaren of Macbeth. Mr. Shiesty and David and Ted Head and J3 Mystic and Gio Damley. And then Abelli brings up the rear. So there we have it. Yeah, the rain might have ruined the race a little bit, but just gave a bit of strategy. David took a gamble. It didn't work out. Ianala, a winner this evening. There you go. The game agrees with me. A good race overall. Solid. Probably because of the rain, I think it's a solid 7 out of 10. But I think we would have had a classic if there was no rain. There was plenty of quick drivers in the dry. But yeah, my driver of the day is going to be Arsenal Boys, up 8 places. Picks up a podium. Got a bit of damage at the end there. Probably took away the battle that we could have had with Tem. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining for this round 5 race of Division 2 of the Pit Stop Series. My name is Chetty2511, and we're going to have a little plug for the league, another league that I run, DRL. We race on a Monday and Tuesday, Div 1 Mondays, Div 2 Tuesdays. We have commentated streams. If you're interested, then just check out the partnerships channel in the Discord, or drop me a DM. Cool. All right, everyone, have a good rest of the weekend. Catch you next week for round 6, wherever that may be.